TV, and I'm back with another video, y'all. I'm back, like, period. But y'all, as y'all can tell by the title, today I'm doing a video for my new moms out here and my breastfeeding moms, and pretty much give you guys a little insight on breastfeeding tips and like things you need to know before you basically breastfeed / pump, because it's literally a lot I had to learn. Another thing, yeah, I pretty much wanted to do this video because like it's a lot I had to teach myself and learn on my own as far as breastfeeding, well, pumping. My mom, she never breastfeed none of her children, so I had to like learn as I go, and it's been like an emotional roller coaster. My baby is about to be 2 months, so it feel like I've been doing it for too long. I don't know, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. I'm gonna start off. Okay, hold on. So in my I wanted my notes to end up jotting down some notes so I won't forget like things I need to cover and go over, because I want to make this video as detailed as possible so you guys can, you know, understand, you know, things before you start. And because some things I wish people would have told me, you know, but everybody experience with breastfeeding is going to be totally different. I'm just going to kind of give you my experience and stuff that I never knew, like as I was going through with it. And yeah, so hold on, let me put up. So I start off with when I was in a hospital, they tried to get my baby to latch on, which I never, you know, wanted to start him on, you know, on my breast or anything like that, because like before I had him, I said I was going to either stick to pumping or formula. Like that was the only two options, because I wanted him to be independent. I didn't want him to, you know, depend on my breast and depend on me, especially because I have like a busy schedule, and like if I want to, you know, have him go to someone's house or whatever, you know, when I'm ready and stuff, it's like I don't want it to be where, you know, I can't really get a break or anything like that, because I'm breastfeeding from just my breast. So I feel like if I would start him off straight off the bottle, you know, pumping and then putting it in the bottle, it's like it would be easier, so I won't have to, you know, do it from my breast and then switch over to the bottle. Like that would have been just doing too much when I could just start him off straight off the bottle. But that was just me. Everyone is different. A lot of people, like, I don't like when I tell like a doctor or anything and they be like, so why you want it, like, first of all, because that's what's working for me. And then they be like, you know, you need to have skin to skin contact, and it's like, so I can have skin to skin contact with my son without having to do that. Like, I just don't like when people be feeling like you have to do stuff just because they did it, or like skin to skin contact when you gonna have a bond with your baby regardless. Like, come on out, like, don't be making sense. But yeah, so in a hospital they tried to get him to latch on. I was very uncomfortable. I barely was able to hold him right doing it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this is not working, and no milk was coming out anyway. So, and then I'm like, so if y'all start him off like that, that's all he gonna know is like a nipple. So I was telling her, you know, it helped me pump. So they gave me the medulla, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, whichever way you want to say. They gave me that pump, which is a manual pump. And you know, while I was in the hospital, I was trying to pump to see if that will, you know, help or whatever. But like prior to, like, when I was pregnant, milk never like flew out. Like, you know, I know some people, you know, while they was pregnant, they say if they would be in the shower, you know, milk would just leak and stuff like that. But that didn't happen for me, even though I had milk, you know, of course, in me. It never leaked or anything like that. So pretty much I had to get my breast to, like, you know, I mean, stimulate my nipple and get it, you know, massage and all that, get it flowing, basically get the milk flowing. So while I was in the hospital, you know, he had to eat, so they had some formula to give him, which he didn't like. I was still, while I was in the hospital, trying to, you know, pump on both breasts, and I have inverted nipples, so that was another thing that was making it a little bit hard, because mine is inverted, so I'll have to like on my right side is more out than this one, so I have to practice more on my right side. And I had to pretty much keep doing it, which it was like I was getting emotional because it's like, oh my god, like why is my milk not coming out? Like what's going on? Like I was just getting emotional because I was like, so what's going on? But I would say like almost like a week later, as I was home, because I made sure I kept doing it every 2 hours, even though nothing was coming out, but just to keep practicing, keep trying to do it and stuff. And then eventually milk started to come out, but I had ended up using the Honka because I still, you know, wasn't able to like get me a pump. Ouch, this is tight. I wasn't able to get me a pump at the time, so I started off using a Honka, which I was reading and people were saying, you know, it helps, you know, with the milk flow and like you basically catching a lot of milk. So I was like, maybe I could just try this until, you know, I can give you a pump. So yeah, I started to use it, and then like when I seen the milk coming out, I was getting excited. I was like, oh my god. And then of course when you first start, it's not going to be like so much milk coming out. Like it's going to take a lot of time for it to, you know, keep increasing because your body got to basically get used to it. So yeah, but just a little bit coming out was just exciting for me because I was like, oh my god, like I'm really a mama and it's coming out. So yes, I kept going through with it, but here's the thing. Let me make sure I'm touching base on everything. Yeah, so this was like the early stages, like after he's been a week, 2 weeks and all of that, and it's really like time consuming. It's so I don't know for like other people, but it has been emotional for me because it's just like, for one, I'm not used to having my boobs to be a little bit bigger because I don't know if it's the milk that make it feel heavier, but I'm just not used to it. You know, I'm used to being a bee, you know, my boobs up and all that. I'm not used to all that extraness, so it was emotional. And then it's my it's my first time being a mom. I'm trying to get everything going, and then pumping is literally a second job. I don't care what nobody says, it's literally a second job, laying there a 9 to 5, and it's like it's so much time consuming. And patience is key with pumping. Like it's really, you gotta have patience for that. So especially because it's not gonna like come all out like at one time, so it's like it's patience, having to keep doing it and keep trying to increase your milk, you know, and all of that. So I would say, okay, so another thing is my baby ended up having jaundice. When I went to his doctor appointment, she told me that, well, he don't have it now, but yeah, in the beginning, so he had jaundice, and I still don't really have a clear understanding on what it is, but it's a lot of different reasons. And like she was saying, like sometimes when you breastfeed, you know, it's not giving them vitamin D, which I personally thought that your breast already had all these vitamins. It's just a lot I really just had to learn and just didn't know. So she was like, maybe you should like and my baby like was like really gaining too from the breast milk, which was really good. But if y'all hear my dog, don't mind her. But she was like, so maybe try doing formula in between so that he's getting vitamin D. And then she gave me like some vitamin D drops to like put in his bottle, like, you know, from the breast milk or whatever. But his levels wasn't like so like low or whatever it might be, because it was like, she's like, the numbers is kind of okay where it's gonna go on its own, whatever. But she's like, try doing like maybe 1 bottle of formula here and there while you're breastfeeding, because, you know, it's not enough vitamin D in me or whatever it might be. So I was a little discouraged and a little sad, I ain't gonna lie, like, because I was like, something like I really kind of didn't like, I always said like if I was to like have a kid, I was gonna do formula, but by now it's like so many shortages and stuff like that, it was just like oh my god, like this is too much. So I just knew at this moment I was like basically forced to, you know, pump, breastfeed, whatever you want to call it. So yes, I was telling my mom, and my mom was like something, because she watched this one girl on Facebook that just had a baby, and she was like, you know what, that actually might make sense, because she was like, this girl I watch, you know, she basically be saying how she got to take basically 10 different vitamins, you know, while she's breastfeeding, so she's getting all the vitamins that she need and nutrition and stuff. So when I was like looking, okay, so I was like, let me start looking into it. So when I started looking into it, watching videos, it was so many people saying you gotta take this vitamin, you gotta take this vitamin, and I was like, oh my god, I really just, I ain't gonna lie, I really just thought you just supposed to pump and, you know, hand it to your baby and call it down. I didn't know you had to take vitamin D, this, all these different pills that you're supposed to be taking, and some of this stuff I never even heard of. So I was like, oh my god, this is too much. So that was another thing that I was like, that was adding on to my plate. I'm like, oh my god, if it's not one thing, it's another. So yeah, so I was looking into like different things to increase my milk, and like brands that had all the vitamins I need all in one, so that I'm not taking 10 different pills. So I end up getting the Ritual. It's my room, and I don't feel like I'm getting it, but I end up getting the Ritual. It has all the different vitamins you need while breastfeeding, and then I end up getting these 2 pills. I'm gonna add it in here. I'm adding it here to help increase my milk as well. So yeah, so I started taking all 3 of those, and it's like, yeah, it was just like so much, like all at one time. I was like, oh my god. And then I was in my head like, oh my god, I want my baby's jaundice to be gone, but it's just too much, you know. This is why I was in my head like, that's why I should have just stuck to the, like, just doing formula. But I was just trying to try things out, you know, trying to, you know, get the experience of it and see how it go, whatever. There'll be days that I will point, mind you, I had like the Honka, which is the like a manual pump. So it's like, by me having such a busy life and like having so much things to do, because you know when you're a mom, you still gotta clean, you gotta work, you gotta do 10 different things all at one time. You basically a super mom. So it's like I would take time out to pump, and then it would be days where literally my pump would just spill and I'd just be crying, because it's like, now I've just wasted milk, and it's just like, it'd be too much, like mentally for me. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a mental thing. So I was like, I really need to get me a new pump, because I'm not about to keep wasting milk. It keep tilting over, because I'm trying to pump and still try to do multiple things at one time, and then now I'm wasting milk, and I'm getting frustrated, I'm getting irritated, I'm getting emotional, all them different things. So my mom had ended up getting me the Mom Cozy pump, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a lifesaver. Like all the other pumps that people been talking about, them electric and plugging into water, that's just not too much. It's too much money when you could just get these, which is like 119, I think, something like that. And it's very convenient. Like you literally put them in your bra and you literally go about your business. Like that is so convenient. So you still able to clean, cook, all of that while it's in your bra, put your shirt on. Nobody would ever know that you're even pumping. And I was just like, where was this the whole time? Like, where was this at my whole life? So I really do like the Mom Cozies. They're so, the only thing is it makes a noise, but that's something I don't complain about, because it's like, it's everything else that's good about it. So, but another thing is, me personally, I feel like breastfeeding or pumping, whatever you want to call it, especially I would say pumping, because pumping is literally another job. I feel like it's more so suited for people that's either an at-home mom, a stay-at-home mom, or a work-at-home mom, because I mean, I know it's people that work and do it, but I'm not trying to do it. I'm sorry, I'm just not trying to do it. I'm not trying to work and pump and try to do all that. It just be doing so much. I'm not trying to be in public pump. I'm just not trying to do it. Like, that goes into me actually doing both. So I started giving my baby formula because I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, I was just getting frustrated, you know. And also, at like right now, it's just me. So It's not like, you know, because when you think about it, okay, so you gotta feed your baby mainly every 2 hours. I don't know how everybody feels baby is, but my baby, I have to feed him every 2 hours. So feeding him every 2 hours, then still pumping and doing, like, it's too much. It's really too much. That's why I keep saying it's literally a mental thing and it's an emotional thing, and sometimes it can get irritating. So you literally have to do what's best for you. So I started putting him on formula. You know, I started doing it at night, and then like do breast milk during the day to see if that would make him like sleep more. Yeah, so I can get a little bit more rest, which it did work. But I don't know, that formula that I had when I first was starting doing it, I didn't like it because I didn't like the smell. It's thing. I honestly didn't even know about it, even though it's for infant milk. It was something I just didn't know about. So by it being a milk shortage, it's like it was very hard to find the infant milk, the yellow kind, the one with the iron in it, and like brain development. That's the only one I know any of my nieces or nephews use. So I just searched all over for that, but I was finally able to find, you know, me a spot that I could get milk from or whatever. I literally have switched to using formula. And another thing you have to know with breastfeeding is like, it's basically eating for two as if you're pregnant. So if you're not eating enough, if you're not getting all the vitamins, all the nutrition, and then it's like your baby basically isn't getting it. And I know sometimes I be so tired to the point where I don't eat and I don't get enough nutrition in my body. So it's like it makes him way more hungrier, because if I'm not eating and, you know, I'm giving him the milk, he's going to be way more hungrier, and it's not really settling on his stomach like I want it to. And that's another thing that can be frustrating, because like now he's being more up, and it's like I'm really not getting any rest, and not having rest is like literally not healthy at all. If I start using the formula, it would settle on his stomach more, because I feel like breast milk just run through his body, and next thing you know, he up crying like an alarm and hungry all over again. So I was just like, maybe I just need to do what to do in the first place, instead of listening to other people and doing what's best for me and what works for me. So you really have to understand that if you're not eating, like if you don't have the time to really eat as much as you're supposed to eat, taking your vitamins at a certain time and all of that, I would just say just do formula. I mean, because it's just so simple to just, you know, put the scoops in the water and shake it up. But I mean, I know a lot of people just like, you know, breast milk is way more healthier, and I mean, trust me, I understand it. That's why I have gave it a try, and I did it for this long. But it's just so much time consuming, and it's just not working with my schedule personally. Another thing that I did not know about, nobody told me, I didn't even know was a thing. So one day I was feeding my baby, and then I didn't even notice, but my mom, she was like, "Son, why you got the this cover on?" And I was like, "So, I mean, I'm cold." And she was like, it seemed like you got like fever symptoms," which my back was hurting really bad, my neck was hurting, my breast was hurting, and then out of nowhere I did end up getting a fever. So I'm like, I know I'm not sick or anything like that, and he's not sick. So I was like, I don't be nowhere, you know. I'm like, what just happened? And I just have to, you know, go back and think. So I took my temperature and thing, and I ended up catching a fever. But I have to figure out, where did this fever come from? So then I ended up looking up, because I said my boobs was hurting really bad or whatever, because my B. And then when I looked it up, I literally had this thing called mastitis. Yes, that's what it's called. So it's basically an infection in your breast due to milk clog. And I think I caught it because like earlier that day, you know, I was trying to wear my pink Victoria's Secret bra, which is a little bit more fitted. So I think that's what ended up clogging it up, because it did, like, after I wore it, which I actually took it off because it was starting to feel really tight. When I looked it up, it said, you know, tight fitted bras can cause it. So I was like, dang. So yes, I ended up getting a fever. And my boobs, I had like, it was so sore and like lumped up because I guess because of the milk clog. So I was like, oh Lord, this is something I didn't even know was a thing. So if you breastfeeding, if you're pumping, make sure you look out for mastitis, because that's a thing. And I never even knew existed was a thing. Never knew you could even catch a fever from milk. Yes, I ended up getting a fever actually twice. And when I was looking up, you know, how to get rid of it and all of that, I was doing the things, but I guess it was just too clogged up. So I ended up catching another fever. And eventually I was like, okay, I have to book appointment to go to urgent care and to see, you know, if they can give me anything. So I went to my doctor and he was like, yeah, like it's mastitis, it's really, you know, really bad. So he had to give me some antibiotics, which I'm still taking, but it has been helping. Also, you have to know that when you're breastfeeding, when you're pumping, you have to drink a lot of water. You have to, because your breast is not even going to produce a certain amount of milk if you're not drinking water. It's almost like your body knows if you're getting enough water. So if you're not, a lot of milk isn't going to come out. So that's like another thing, because it's like, now I have to make sure I'm drinking water, I have to make sure I'm eating a certain amount and all these different things. And it's like, this is too much. Look, I already have my baby. I don't want to feel like I'm still pregnant. So it's just really been a lot, and that's just what it is, you know, when you're first starting. So my best advice is to, you know, let you guys know, for one, to get a perfect pump that's going to work for you, that's convenient, and that you can, you know, multitask and do. Also, look into vitamins and certain pills that can increase your milk, so that you're not feeling, you know, overwhelmed, that you're not getting producing enough milk and stuff like that. And if you really do have time, and, you know, I guess it should be a little bit easier for people that actually have time, or if they're at home a lot, then it's more easier. But if you're working out and you're doing all these different things, it can be overwhelming at times. Not even gonna lie, I'm just gonna keep it real. It's worth it out in the end. Y'all, I think I am going to fully just transfer to the formula, because it has been working for him. It seemed like he's a little bit more fuller. He's not like being as hungry, you know. I'm getting way more sleep than before. But yeah, y'all, I just really have to give y'all the insight of pumping and breastfeeding and things that I never even knew was a thing. Just like I told y'all about the mastitis, I never even knew nothing about that. And I never knew you had to, you know, take vitamins and do all that while you're breastfeeding. So like, I'm here to tell y'all, like, when you start, make sure y'all note these things down. But yeah, that concludes the end of this video. I hope you guys found this video as helpful as possible. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that bell so you know when I am posting. And remember that beauty is confidence. Till then, dog, and we out.